Greetings, dear precious spirit soul, divine being that you are. Take a nice deep breath. Remember, the body operates and the mind by oxygen. Breathe it in, right where you are, be right there. My topic: your body is a manifesting machine. Now you go, whoa, yes it is. It's part of the whole manifesting machine that operates, that produces the virtual reality. That is a simulation of the true divine reality. So you might say we all are looking through a glass darkly through these layers of ignorance. And an ignorant person can never really be happy because they're always giving the power to the mind, to thoughts, to beliefs, to what they've been programmed to believe is true, what other people say, the news, what's going to happen, to all this. And let me tell you how it is. See, treat your body as the temple of the living God. And that means, too, that you would only want to put into your body that which is in the mode of goodness, absolute goodness. So that would be, fresh fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and that sort of thing. And myself being a vegetarian, what happens is so many people are so programmed to believe that they have to eat the flesh and the blood of animals to be healthy, which actually it's the opposite of that. And if you're going to do anything, you've got to do your research, because it isn't about just me saying things or anybody else that you're going to, because, when I was studying metaphysics in the beginning, and I was working with the teachings of Ernest Holmes, and Ernest Holmes really, he was not a reveler of truth. He didn't channel somebody or something else, because that's always, fakey, I have to tell you. Especially if they're going to channel Jesus. Let's drag him out of the closet. We're going to channel. This doesn't work this way. But anyway, it captures so many people that will then give their power away to something. People are so willing to give their power away. That's why an ignorant person is always giving their power away to somebody else, something that's going on in the world, what's happening on the outside. The outer is always an effect. It's the past. It's the past. You are the present. You are the now. You are eternal. So the body being part of this manifesting machine, this reality is a sound, electric, magnetic reality. We know this. We could perceive this, and this is what it does. And we know that electricity is everywhere. In ancient civilizations like Tartaria, Egypt, which may probably be Egypt and that sort of thing, and even before that, the ancient Vedic influence throughout the world, and how that also was taken down. So the remnants of ancient civilizations get destroyed, their literature, their history, and then taken over by so-called the winners or the invaders, who then take their stories, their histories of the conquered ones, and then they take that on as theirs, that they can glorify themselves and the buildings and the artifacts and the architectural buildings and such that are still on the earth. So when you realize that your body is part of the manifesting machine, sound then is coming from you, and you make sounds, and your voice, your sound, that's why it's very important to be humming, to activate your own voice, and to keep yourself in an enthusiastic state of being. Because when you use sounds and you use them in a pathetic, self-pity way, and you drag yourself down, and your reality that is around you is represented by what you feel inside, what you believe, what you feel, what you think, what you do. And the body then is a musical instrument. The bones are the crystal network. Your sinus cavities up here are resonating. I'm known because I've trained as a singer, and also then as a speaker, because I could speak for a lecture or a seminar for days. I wouldn't get a sore throat because I don't use my throat. I'm using the vocal cords, but I'm using the breath, and I'm using how you tune your body to be a manifester for you, because you are in control of your state of mind, your consciousness, your attitude, your feelings, and this sort of thing. So when you, what happens is to give yourself the time to meditate, to be in nature, to get those shoes off, to listen in the quietness. And some people whose mind is so active, they don't control their mind. And they're continuously searching outside of themselves, continually the next thing, continually out here. And when you ask them to actually take their shoes off in nature and walk, oh no, they're never going to do that. Oh no, I can't do that. It's just like, like if I would go to, when I would go to a great teacher for whatever I wanted to learn, I'd always find who's the expert in that, who knows the most about, who's manifesting at that level. And that I would want to go learn from them, not from a university or whatever where they have a professor, or that some of them may be really good at what they do and all that, which is great. But you want to be in charge of your own educational system, given what it is you want to accomplish and who you are and all that's possible for you, and all is possible for you. You define it by your own consciousness of what you accept and believe. See, everywhere you walk is holy ground. You're always with the divine. That means you're never alone. Your partner is always there, your beloved, waiting for you to repent, which means just to turn around and look within rather than looking on the outside for what you want. And that then your consciousness within your temple, your body temple, determines your emotions, how you feel. How are you enthusiastic or are you depressed? Are you living in hope and then hopelessness? Are you get excited and then you get depressed when what you're excited about doesn't happen because you're living in expectations? Oh, I wouldn't think that they would do all that. I'm so disappointed in them. They didn't come up to my expectations and all the. So we're always, see, it out there isn't it. You're it. And you're the one determining your state of being and also what is being manifest around you. Just like people will say, I'm so lucky I never win. Well, what you want to say is, I'm fortunate I win all the time. Well, you say, but it's not true. Well, it will be because you're now accepting that. Years ago when I first started practicing some of this, I went to a big party and big banquet, hundreds of people there, and I won 6 door prizes, one right after another, because I was field testing these principles that I teach. And because I said, well, why would I teach something if I don't apply it and know whether it works or not? So I only share what works, that I know that works. And that doesn't mean that there isn't more out there that's working for people, but the root of the whole thing is you and your own consciousness, what you accept and what you know, not what you've been taught. And you might say that the miserable person is a person who lives from their intellectualism of all of the philosophies, all of the points of view, all of the opinions, all of the stories, all of the history, all of the everything, all that can be changed because it's in words. And when you have people who own all the publishing, and you say who own all of the big kind of cameras out there and all of this, trying to tell you there's big outer space out there in the world and it's huge. I don't see it out there. I don't have big cameras like that or artwork that's going to tell me of the universe, it's so bigger than I am. There's always trying to make you feel like you're insecure, insignificant, not powerful. You're just some nerd here that's just, you take birth and you got to struggle and pay taxes and then you get sick and die, but you got to make sure you pay the pharmaceutical companies before you actually die, and then you got to buy a plot where you're going to leave the body. It goes on, and then people say, well, I just buried Ralph the other day. Well, that wasn't Ralph. What is that? That's that vibration. Yeah, you buried that identity. But whoever Ralph is still alive, is still there, and probably still in shock, and has been following you around thinking, what's wrong? You don't hear me right now because you're not on that same plane. Okay, you're on a different reality right now. So the body is part of a manifesting machine. where your sounds, where what you believe, what those thoughts that you're having, those concepts, what you accept, how you feel in every moment. And what happens is by reacting to everything that's going on outside, you're in a constant state of chaos and confusion. What to do? Where should I be? I'm alone. No. In the aloneness and the quietness of your own being, you discover what we used to call God, but the beloved I call my partner, source, soulmate. It isn't soulmate, some guy out there or whoever it may be. No, I already have, because your partner is super soul. We all have the same super soul, and yet we're all individuals, unique and different, while also having sameness. Fullness of truth gives you fullness of power. Like there's another lie that's out there that if you see something in somebody, you can't criticize it or say it because it must be you or you wouldn't see it. Well, sometimes that's true. But most of the time it's not. So when someone says it's absolute, that what you see in others is in you, they're now making a concept absolute. No, you're absolute, not concepts, not words, not sentences, not spell casting, not spelling. These are fabricated. Your being is not fabricated. Your being is eternal. And you're right where you are, all the power that anybody has at all, you have. And but saying, well, people have a lot of guns, and they have a lot of bombs, and they have a lot of, scary things that they could say, well, look how powerful. I've got huge buildings and storehouses of jewels and stuff. And so it shows how great I am. But what do you have to show for your life? You. Not a bunch of stuff. Not you sitting around and comforted by all your things. I see my things around me, yes. I don't want to lose my stuff. That's what happens when you drop the body. You lose your stuff. But other people have figured out how to keep it. Because people don't want to leave. If all you live is in this realm, and the mind only has this realm, so thought form entities, those people who have been most infected by the thought mental virus that consumes others and consumes stuff and never has enough, can never be fulfilled, because satisfaction comes from the soul. And love of the divine, your supreme soulmate partner, is supreme pleasure for the soul. And we're pleasure seekers. But we keep running around with a little bit of pleasure here, and I get a new piece of technology here, and I got the latest thing over here, and I can show my friends because I've got more latest stuff than they've got, and then I get a few little dopamine hits, and I got the new little phone that I can look around my face like a dumb idiot on my hand all the time, looking at this, where this, all the vibes going through your whole body, the program's going there, but you think you've got it made? You're just fitting into the form of the information, being a very compliable robot in a body who is infected with a mind virus that has taken over that person's entire existence. Now, and as long as they allow, what would you say, their mind or the minds of others to run their life through thought forms. Because you are more than a thought form. You are more than a definition. You are more than the meanings that have been given to you and about who you are and what's possible. And take a look at the people who tell you what's not possible. And then you take a look at, then they give you these hopes of, if you look at videos of so-called great people who have so much money and the clothes and the stuff and the buildings. If I could only be a basketball player, I could be a football player, I could be a tennis player, I could be a movie star, then I would have all of that, and I would have finally made it, and I'll have all the fun that they're having. These people are not having fun. I know who they are. I've been around them. That's why I got away. You have to look at the fun that is in the most simple stuff. And right where you are, right where anybody is right now, you can have supreme pleasure of the soul. That is it. You don't have to accomplish anything. You just have to take back your power and be willing to do what it takes. Like when I went to the maestro, as I mentioned, to train my voice, when he gave me an exercise, I didn't say, I don't want to do that one. I don't like that. Just like when sometimes I'll suggest people take their shoes off and walk in the woods. I don't like that one. I'm not going to do it. Or if I teach them a vocal exercise, oh, I don't want to do that one. Yeah, but that's the one that does the job. You say you want that. Oh, I don't want to taste that because I don't like the taste of it. But yeah, is it really good for you? Is it really going to help your body? Is it really going to help you? Maybe you need to change your taste. And that means getting it together. That means get centered on what's really important for you. Now, the word important is also impotent. They're very close. This is impotent to me, because then it makes yourself ineffectual and weak and helpless because you're impotent, okay? Because you want to be important, so it makes you impotent because you don't know you're already valuable. You don't know already that all the power and God, the divine, is always with you as super soul. So you are not separated. You are not lacking in any way, no matter what anybody else says, no matter what they told you in school, no matter what has been programmed into any kind of an educational system to get you to believe how insignificant you are and how to be happy and successful and abundantly joyful and eternally. Oh, that's not possible, but we'll sell you this stuff over here, okay, and it'll make you feel better for a while, but it's not going to heal the problem. But I want you to get something. Every effect has a prior cause. You change the cause, you change the effect. This is the truth of the way it is. So, dear one, your body is a manifesting machine. You better learn how to use it because you cannot help it, because you are a creator being, a creator God. That's who you are. So you might as well let yourself have the bounty of the joy of your own being. And everything you need will be there when you need it, in the right way, for the highest good, because you're going with the flow, the divine flow of divine consciousness that is always operating for the highest good of all. So you get your bloated nothingness out of the way and let the divine have its way.